Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack fascinating topics, and today, well, we're embarking on a really special exploration. We're diving deep into the very fabric of India, not just as a landmass, but as a living story. We've gathered some pretty captivating facts, like pieces of a grand puzzle, our mission, to weave them into a narrative that reveals the soul of this incredible nation. Get ready for some aha moments, because this is where it gets really interesting.
Indeed. It's like imagining a map coming alive, where every line, every number tells a tale of connection, of character. We'll be looking at India through the lens of its geographical heartbeat, its dimensions, its boundaries, and its profound influence on history and culture.
Yeah.
We'll try to make sense of what might seem like just statistics and turn them into vivid insights.
Okay, let's start with the big picture then, the canvas of India itself. What defines its place on the world map?
Well, what's fascinating right off the bat is how India truly stands out. To begin, just picture its sheer size. India's total landmass spans an impressive 3.28 million square kilometers.
3.28 million. That sounds enormous.
It is. Now, that number might sound a bit abstract, but think about this. It accounts for approximately 2.4% of the world's total geographical area.
Wow, okay. 2.4%.
And this immense size places India as the seventh largest country in the world.
Seventh largest. That's quite a position. And where exactly is it situated on the globe? I mean, broadly speaking.
Right. So India lies entirely in the northern hemisphere. That's key. And an intriguing detail is that the Tropic of Cancer, that's 23 degrees 30 minutes north latitude, it slices right through the country.
Really? Right through the middle?
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
Dividing it into almost two equal parts. Imagine that invisible line just carving the landscape. It has major implications for climate, for vegetation.
Fascinating. Okay, let's unpack this a bit more. How do cartographers truly define India's precise location and its vast expanse? What are those unseen lines that mark its reach?
Good question. So when we talk about mainland India, that's latitudinal extent stretches from 8 degrees 4 minutes north,
Okay, 8 degrees 4 minutes north.
all the way up to 37 degrees 6 minutes north. A huge range.
Yeah, that covers a lot.
And then longitudinally, it runs from 68 degrees 7 minutes east in the west
68 degrees 7 minutes east.
to 97 degrees 25 minutes east in the far east. Now that easternmost point, 97 degrees 25 minutes east, holds a fascinating secret.
Oh, a secret. Do tell. What's so special about that longitude?
Well, if you consider the span from Gujarat way over in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east, this huge longitudinal difference, it creates an approximate 2-hour time lag in the sunrise.
2 hours? Seriously?
Yes, about 2 hours. Imagine the sun greeting different parts of the country at such varying times. People in the east are starting their day while it's still dark in the west.
Wow. How did they manage that practically before standardized time?
Well, it certainly created challenges for things like railways, communication. To manage this, India adopted a standard meridian. It's set at 82 degrees 30 minutes east.
Okay, 82 degrees 30 minutes east.
And remarkably, this line passes right through the city of Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. This helps synchronize time across such a vast nation, a sort of compromise point.
Yes, makes sense. A practical solution to a geographical reality. So moving from these invisible lines, let's talk about the physical edges. What are the natural boundaries shaping India's, well, majestic form?
Right, the tangible borders. India boasts an extensive land boundary approximately 15,200 kilometers long.
15,200 kilometers. That's massive.
It is. And it's not just flat land either. In its northwest, north, and northeast, India is bounded by magnificent young fold mountains.
Young fold mountains. You mean like the Himalayas?
Exactly. Think of the Himalayas standing like these towering sentinels. Geologically young, still rising actually, they form a formidable natural barrier.
And what about where the land meets the sea? The coastline must be huge, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's total coastline, and this is a shimmering stretch, including the Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands. Measures 7,516.6 kilometers.
Over 7,500 kilometers.
Yeah, and this incredible coastline isn't just picturesque, it's strategically vital. You have the Deccan Peninsula tapering down into the Indian Ocean.
Right, that distinctive V shape pointing south.
Precisely, and this offers a really central location. This protrusion allows for close contact with West Asia, Africa, and Europe from its western coast,
Okay.
and with Southeast and East Asia from its eastern coast. It's perfectly positioned, really. It's no wonder, actually, that India's eminent and long coastline position in the Indian Ocean is what justified an entire ocean being named after it.
That's a powerful point, the Indian Ocean. It really underscores the country's historical and geographical influence, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's not just a name. It reflects millennia of maritime connection and centrality.
So connecting this all together, what does this mean for India's place in the neighborhood and the wider world? Who are its companions across these land and sea boundaries?
Right, let's look at the neighbors. If we connect this to the bigger picture, India shares its land boundaries with several nations. In the northwest, we find Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Okay, Pakistan and Afghanistan to the northwest.
Then to its north, we have Nepal, along with China and Bhutan. And it's interesting, states like Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and Sikkim, they all share common frontiers with Nepal. That's a long interconnected border.
Shows how closely tied those regions are. And to the east.
Moving east, India's land neighbors are Myanmar and Bangladesh. Again, complex borders with deep histories.
And who are its island companions in the southern seas?
Good question. Across the sea, down to the south, lie the island nations of Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Sri Lanka is famously separated from India by the Palk Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. These narrow stretches of water are key.
Cox Strait, right.
And the Maldives Islands are situated directly south of India's own Lakshadweep Islands, so more maritime neighbors. And interestingly, a country that does not share a land boundary with India, despite being regionally close, is Tajikistan. Sometimes people get that confused.
Good clarification. Tajikistan is nearby, but no direct land border. Okay, speaking of islands, tell us about India's own island territories. Where do these gems sparkle?
India is blessed with two significant island groups. First, the Lakshadweep Islands. They're nestled there in the Arabian Sea. Kavaratti is their capital. Think coral reefs, lagoons.
Beautiful. And the other group?
Then to India's southeast, quite a bit further out, lie the captivating Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, a much larger archipelago, very diverse.
Andaman and Nicobar.
Yes. And these islands, along with India's tapering shape that we mentioned, are really critical to understanding the broader aquatic geography. The Indian Ocean itself is kind of divided into two major seas by this shape. You've got the Arabian Sea to the west,
Right.
and the Bay of Bengal to the east. India sits right between them.
It's like India naturally parts the ocean, pointing the way to different parts of the world.
That's a great way to put it. It channels maritime movement, historically and even today.
So this detailed geography, it's clearly not just about maps, is it? It's deeply intertwined with history, trade, the flow of ideas. How has India's unique position shaped its interactions with the world throughout time? For instance, which came first, land or sea connections?
That's a really important question, and the answer might surprise you. Intuitively, you might think sea, given the long coastline.
Yeah, that was my guess.
But actually, it was the land route contacts that predated the maritime ones, significantly so.
Really? Through those mountains?
Yes, through passes in those mountains, across vast plains. Imagine ancient caravans. Through these pathways, incredible ideas and commodities flowed from India to other parts of the world. Think about Indian numerals, the concept of zero.
Transformative stuff.
Absolutely. And spices, of course, highly sought after. These traveled overland for centuries. And in return, foreign architectural styles, like the dome and minarets we often see, came from West Asia into parts of India, creating this beautiful cultural fusion.
That's a wonderful illustration of how interconnected the world was even back then. Geography shaping culture. Were there other major historical shifts tied to this geography?
Oh, definitely. A monumental change occurred much later with the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869.
Wow, the Suez Canal, huge deal.
Massive. It dramatically reduced India's distance from Europe by a staggering 7,000 kilometers. Just slashed the sea journey time.
7,000 kilometers. That must have revolutionized trade and travel.
Completely. It intensified colonial connections, both good and bad, and changed global shipping forever. And on a more somber note, a poignant event in recent history tied to geography and nature's power was when Indira Point.
Indira Point, the southernmost tip.
Yes, the very southernmost point of the Indian Union. It was submerged under seawater during the massive tsunami in 2004.
Oh, I remember that. A powerful reminder of nature's forces, as you say.
Indeed. And thinking about how this vast land was structured politically, how did it come to be organized?
Right. How did the modern political map overlay onto this ancient geography?
Well, before 1947, before independence, India was structured into two main types of states. You had the provinces.
Directly ruled by the British.
Exactly. And then you had the princely states, which had varying degrees of autonomy under their own rulers, but ultimately under British oversight. Today, of course, it's evolved into a vibrant union of 28 states and 8 union territories. It reflects a really dynamic political and geographical landscape.
What a journey we've taken, really, through the numbers and stories of India. We've seen how a single latitude line, the Tropic of Cancer, divides a nation climatically. How that 2-hour time lag across its vastness demanded a synchronized standard time. And how ancient land routes, perhaps surprisingly, shaped the exchange of world-changing spices and ideas long before sea routes dominated.
Mm,
It's truly a testament, isn't it, how geography isn't just lines on a map, but the very foundation of identity, connection, and history.
indeed. We've explored the dimensions that make India distinct, the boundaries, both physical and political, that define its character, and the rich historical threads woven deep into its physical form. This interplay, between the land and its people, between fixed coordinates on a map and the flowing currents of culture, it continues to shape not just India, but the wider world. It's an ongoing story.
Absolutely. So, what does this all mean for you, our listener? Maybe consider this. How might a nation's unique geographical shape and position, its mountains, its oceans, its sheer size, continue to influence its future, its relationships, its cultural innovations, even the daily rhythm of life for millions, generation after generation? It's definitely a thought worth pondering long after our deep dive concludes.